Okay, for this year's transformation, 2013, I want to try something a little bit different. In the past, we've tried doing workshops at the gym to try to answer questions people might have and kind of get into a little bit more detail about the transformation itself. And that's worked well, but we want to try something a little bit different this year. And we now realize that it's hard to get a time that suits everybody, allows everybody to get there for the workshop. And also, so now this year with the video, we think, makes it accessible at any time. So anybody that wants to, look at the information, they have an opportunity to do that. And they also don't have to be there for the entire time. They can pick and choose when they want to watch the video. So as we go through this process, I'll try to answer as many questions as I get, during the week or through emails and so forth. But today, is kind of want to start off with just real basic information, kind of talk about our general philosophy about nutrition. Really, I call it basically a four-phase approach. The ultimate goal, kind of starting from what I would call phase 4, the ultimate goal is what I would call individualization. And what that means simply is that, my goal as a coach is to help each person really find what works best for them in terms of reaching their goals, whatever that might be, and also maintaining good health and improving their health. So we never want to do something that you may reach that goal, but if you're sacrificing your health, that's really not what we want to do. We want to try to help you reach those goals, but also do so in a healthy manner. So ultimately, that's the goal: individualization. It's not to become like a paleo diet guru or anything like that. It's just simply give you some tools and some understanding so that you can take that and really find what works for you. And so diet no longer, or nutrition no longer becomes a mystery. You find out what works for you, and then you can sustain that for the rest of your life. So that's the ultimate goal. Okay. Taking a step back, what we found, and this is just really the 4 phases really come out of different things we've done over the years through just research and then experimentation with ourselves and also with clients, tweaking it as we go. And so, like I said, what we've come up with to this point is this 4-phase approach. Phase 1 really, and it's part of the transformation. As far as just general guidelines, phase 1 really is what we refer to as paleo. It's a very simple approach towards nutrition. It's simple, but not necessarily easy. So with paleo, we found that we've gotten really outstanding results. For some people, just following a paleo plan has helped them reach their goals, and it's also improved their health as far as lowering blood pressure, cholesterol. Lowering their body weight if they were overweight to begin with. So we've got some good results with that. Okay, and what does paleo consist of? Well, really, it's just simply it kind of works off really off your heredity, more or less, off genetics. In other words, the premise behind paleo is that our digestive systems have not evolved really to handle the foods that that are available in our society today. So that's the basic premise of it, and that we're eating a lot of things, or we have availability to foods that our bodies can't handle well, and as a result, our health suffers. Okay, for my purposes, really, how I look at paleo is that it's really about the quality of food that you're taking in. So if you look at paleo, real basic information on it is really it's just about focusing on eating as like your ancestors would eat like a caveman. Okay, so that would mean eating meats, preferably lean meats, fish, seafood. Okay, also vegetables, even brightly colored vegetables are even better. Fruits, okay, that's another one. Nuts, seeds, berries, any of those things would fit into the category of things that you would choose from to eat. And of course, if you want to take it a step further, it would even be focused on eating more organic foods as well. Okay, but those are things you focus on eating. So that's one of the big things, is try to focus on taking those things in. Then, as far as things you would avoid, it would be things like grains, dairy, sugar, processed foods, legumes. In the paleo, as far as the paleo plan, legumes would be avoided as well. Okay, and these are all things that that in general that most people have the most likelihood of being having some kind of food sensitivity or food allergy to. So almost all of us know someone who maybe is allergic to peanuts. That will be fit into the legume category, or is lactose intolerant. Obviously, that would be dairy, or maybe has a gluten allergy. So that kind of eliminates all those potential things that you could possibly have an allergy to. Obviously, there's other things you could have sensitivities or allergies to, but in general, that removes a lot of those potential foods that you might have issues with. And of course, you're taking out, reducing the sugar in your diet, no processed foods, all the additives and things of that nature as well. So, but really the focus with paleo, from my standpoint, is thinking about quality of food. You're taking in good quality nutrition, and you developing the habit of doing that. Okay, so that will be phase one. So for some people, like I said, that helps them reach whatever their goal might be. And for us, as far as the transformation is concerned, that really fits kind of into that, what we call the bronze category. Just focusing on those basic nutrition. Okay. Phase two takes us to another level. Now it's just taking the same foods we eat in paleo, but we now get a little more precise with it. Okay. It really kind of focus on certain other habits we're trying to develop, along with just eating good quality foods. Now we're going to try to focus on eating frequently throughout the day. So you might eat every 2 to 3 hours. You're having some nutrition in your system every few hours. Okay, with each of those meals or snacks or feedings, whatever you want to call it, you're also consuming some protein, some quality protein with each of those meals. And then that will be the second habit. And then another habit would be incorporating, trying to have some vegetables at least 5 to 6 times a day. Okay, and then fruit as well. But focus primarily on getting vegetables in, at least 5 to 6 servings of vegetables. Okay. Another habit to incorporate would be especially if you're training like all you guys are at the gym, you're training hard, you're training like an athlete, or you are an athlete and you're training like one, then after a hard training session, that's when you want to have maybe some more fruit or more starchy carbohydrate. So if you're going to include like a sweet potato or a yam or something of that nature, that will be the time to do it after training, preferably within 30 to 60 minutes after you train. Okay, and then really try not to have those things throughout the rest of the day. So you basically have that starchy carbohydrate after training, and then the rest of the day for your carbohydrates you would have fruits and vegetables. Okay. Another habit is making sure you're getting healthy fats daily. That can be incorporated with some the nuts that you eat. Almonds, macadamia nuts, things of that nature. But also olive oil will be an example. Avocado will be another example. All those are healthy fats. And then also one of the things that we're really trying to encourage people to do, especially for the challenge, is making sure that you're getting some extra fish oil in. And for the challenge, depending on what level you're at, I would say like a minimal requirement would be like 3 to 4, 3 grams or so. And then again, this would kind of be more the individualization side of it. But we'll say a safety from 4 to 9 grams a day. Kind of be basic, and then some people may want to experiment with even more than that. Okay, but that will be, like I said, more of an individualization component at that point. But that will be, again, healthy fats, including fish oil, will be another habit. Drinking, ideally, getting in the habit of drinking water when you first get up in the morning, because you tend to be a little bit dehydrated. So trying to have 16 ounces of water in the morning, and then 8 more glasses throughout the day, just to get your water intake up. And then other than that, really another habit to incorporate would be, having basically, staying away, I should say, of beverages that would have, more calories or have calories. So trying to drink only 0 calorie beverages like water or unsweetened tea. You can even have coffee also, but not with sweeteners or without sugar and so forth. So that would be another habit to incorporate. And then trying to eat a variety of foods throughout the day, whole foods, like we talked about in the paleo portion as well. So those will be some other nutritional habits to incorporate into that phase 2. A couple other things that we've included in for the transformation is also trying to ensure that you're getting 8 hours of sleep every night, which I know is sometimes hard, but that helps with your recovery and helps with your body's ability to respond to the hard training that you do in a positive way. So you're getting better from your training, not just beating yourself up. Okay, and then so that really covers most of the stuff in phase 2. Phase 3 would be getting a little bit more specific. Once again, all the things in phase 1 with paleo and phase 2 with those basic general habits are still you're still doing those things, but now in phase 3 you're getting a little bit more specific with the amounts of food that you're taking in. So the first thing we tend to look at that point would be protein. So making sure you're getting adequate protein. So again, a general guideline would be for all you guys that are training hard at the gym, it's going to be about 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. So again, if you, just for simplicity, if you were 200 pounds, okay, and you had 20% body fat, that would mean that 20% of your that 200 is body fat, so that would be 40 pounds total. So you would have 160 pounds of lean body mass, and so if you multiply that by 1, that would mean you want to take in 160 grams of protein per day. So that would be the first thing to focus on in terms of the more precision in terms of what you're actually taking in, and then breaking it down from there, you can get again more specific with the carbohydrates and also with the fat intake as well. Okay, but for the challenge, we've primarily focused on just getting the correct amount of protein. The calories matter too. Okay, but if you're getting the adequate amount of protein, and then you're eating mostly fruits and vegetables, and you're eating healthy fats, then those ratios kind of work out. It's very hard to overconsume carbohydrates if you're eating mostly, especially if you're eating mostly vegetables and a little bit of fruit, and I said that little bit of starch that you're going to take in after your training. So the calories usually kind of take care of themselves, okay, at that point. And the carbs are going to stay pretty low too, following that method. And then phase 4, like I said, will be more individualization, and that's where we could get more into the exact amount of calories, the exact amount of carbs, and then you kind of got a really precise plan, and then you can tweak that. It doesn't have to stay the same all the time, and that's kind of down the road. But if you go through a phase where you're trying to get really lean, okay, your protein might be a little bit higher, your carbs might be a little bit lower, and you're trying to get really lean. Well, if you're going, then another time you might be going through a phase where I want to try to add a little bit more muscle. I'm not really worried about trying to get leaner, but I want to add a little bit more muscle. Well, in that case, you may keep your protein up, but you may also increase those carbohydrates a little bit more to try to add a little bit extra muscle as well. So there's way, and everybody's a little bit different. So that's why we kind of give these basic guidelines to start with, and then as we move through the process, you get a little bit more specific, a little bit more individualized, and go through that process. But what we found is, in the previous transformations we've done, is that keeping it as simple as possible in the beginning has led to great success, and the less confusing it is, the better results we've gotten. So we've tried to keep it pretty simple, but also give you a lot of good information. I'll continue to send out emails with some more information about nutrition as we go through this process, and also I love getting questions because that gives me something to focus on as far as what to talk about, or what articles to send, and also what to include in some of these videos that we plan on doing. So please keep those questions coming, and hope you have great success. And any more questions, please let me know, and hopefully this little video has been helpful. Thanks a lot.